Music power.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of the Bards of Gaming podcast. This week we're going to be covering one of my favorite video games of all time, Tony Hawk's Underground 1. And I just wanted to come in here real quick and put in an intro saying that I understand that the music I'm using is all licensed. No, I do not make money from this podcast. And no, I do not have the rights to this music. So I'm using very small snippets of it. Only a fool would use actual music for their podcast, and I am a fool. So I also wanted to throw out there saying that I am apologizing for the episode being uploaded so late. It is currently, as I'm recording this intro, Monday, November 6th. We recorded the podcast on, I think, Thursday, the previous Thursday. And I just straight up have not had the time to sit down and edit the podcast. I've been working like 12, 13, 14 hours a day with my day job, even throughout the weekend. And I just have not had time to sit down and do anything. So this is really my first time at my desk in the last 4 days. And I'm going to try to get this uploaded Monday tonight. So, that being said, I think going forward, I'm going to do my best to try to get episodes uploaded no longer on Friday, but instead potentially on Sunday, probably Sunday evening, so that it can be out there and available for first thing Monday morning. If anybody is curious about when the episodes do get uploaded, I think I'm going to start doing it Sunday nights, because that'll give me time on the weekends to be able to edit it and not go crazy. And it'll also be easier for Fred and I to record. So, because recently everything's just been so crazy. Anyway, with that being said, I hope you enjoy this podcast. I get very passionate in this episode because, as I said before, this is one of my favorite games of all time. I have very distinct memories of playing this game as a kid. It has a very special place in my heart. So hope you all enjoy. And if you, I don't think I throw out there in the episode where you could find us. If you haven't listened to any of the previous episodes, I usually try to put in a little bit at the end, or at least in the intro, saying where you can find us on social media. So you can find us on Instagram at The Bards of Gaming, or you can find us on X or Twitter at 2 Bards of Gaming with the number 2. So hope you enjoy. Last time I'm saying that, please let me know if you guys have any feedback, and I will see you in the episode. Let's go. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Bards of Gaming podcast, where we do our best to raise the bar and play the games where the soundtracks go very hard. I'm joined here today with my buddy Fred, another creative skater. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, Rob. I'm doing good. How are you?
Good to hear. I'm honestly exhausted as per usual.
Yeah. How's that day job treating you?
It's 13-hour days and no time for anything else. It's going well. It's going well.
Wage slave.
Yeah, I mean, that being said, like I honestly haven't had time. Like, I'll be totally transparent with you and anybody listening. Like, I did not have time to play through this game again. In fact, the reason that we are covering this game is because I knew 2 weeks ago when we recorded the Borderlands episode, I would not have time to actually play through this game again. But I played through it so much as a child, I can play through this game in my head.
Yeah, man. I know just from our conversations, you were a massive skater. I mean, I know you had an entire half pipe set up in your backyard.
Yeah, I've been a skater for the last 20 years, and I haven't been able to do it, unfortunately, much the last couple of years, but that has been a huge passion of mine all my life. In fact, the half sleeve tattoo that I have on my right arm is all skateboarding related. And yeah, I did my COVID project was building a half pipe in my backyard, and that was a lot of fun for a while.
I love it.
Now, did you get the chance to play through this game in the last couple of weeks, or did you kind of do what I did and recap it on YouTube?
Yeah, that's pretty much what I did. So it was, you mind if I go on a little rant here?
Go for it.
So yeah, I watched kind of a Let's Play from a YouTuber. Oh, and this dude, he lived a very sheltered life, and
Oh,
just
really?
just the comments that he'd make, like, homie has not seen much of anything. There was like, I mean, you've played the game, you know what it's like, right? It's not,
Oh, yeah.
it's not rated E for everyone. Like,
No, but it's also not rated M.
no, but I mean, you know, it's a game for teens, right? It's a game for, you know, older. I don't want to say more mature, because I mean, I know what I was like when I was a teen, but
Well, actually, you know what? Before we go any further, real quick, I think I'm so tired. I don't even know if I remembered to mention the game that we are covering this week is Tony Hawk's Underground.
yeah,
which
you should probably mention that.
for my money, honestly, my favorite Tony Hawk game. And I've played most of them. You know, I've played 1, 2, 3, 4 way back. I played Underground 2, American Wasteland. I played Project 8. I played Proving Ground. I even played 1 or 2 of the handheld games that came out that I don't know the names of. I played Tony Hawk Ride. That was an abomination. But like, I've played most, if not all, of the major Tony Hawk games in my life.
That's
And
awesome.
this one takes the cake.
Yeah. This one really, I mean, looking back on it and just kind of reviewing it, some of the stuff in it is definitely cheesy. I mean, we'll get into that
For sure.
But, you know, it's for trying to break away from just being, you know, just skating and trying to add new mechanics in, and trying to break the mold of it just being this COD kind of game where it's over and over the same exact thing. I think they did a pretty good job with it, you know, especially for the time.
Oh yeah, and I mean, that's a stretch to compare it to Call of Duty. I see where you're coming from, like kind of like an annualized franchise sort of deal.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't think that I ever saw the games as that, because each individual game came with its own personality.
Mm-hmm.
Like Pro Skater 1 and 2, you can kind of, you know, the lines are a little blurred between the two, but they're phenomenal games in their own right. Pro Skater 3, now that's where for me it really started to like take off. And Pro Skater 4 was okay. It was a little bit more open world, not so much. They had like missions you could go find, but they also still had that classic arcadey style. Like, you know, you go into a level and you have a set list of things you have to accomplish and find and whatever.
Yeah.
But Underground 1 was really where the series changed.
Yeah.
And Underground 1 came out in 2003. So
that long ago, dude.
Yeah, it's been 20 years. And like the way I like to, you know, break down these podcasts. I like to start with kind of what I don't like, then to get into what I do like. But first off, I want to talk about kind of like, you know, where we started, how we found the game, what our memories were of playing it back then.
Yeah.
If not recently, whatever. So, did you play this game when you were a kid?
I mean,
or younger anyway?
Yeah. When I was a kid, I played it like all the time. It was similar to your story, where I started off. I think it was honestly with 2. I think that was the first one that I played. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, that's the first one I played for sure.
Yeah, but like I went through and I played like all of them up to, I think, American Wasteland. No, I did play American Wasteland. But
okay.
I went through like all of those, and yeah, it's one of those games where it's just kind of like, you know, I don't want to say like I fell in love with it. I mean, you know, you definitely, yeah, exactly. I was going to say you have more of an attachment than I do, but I mean, like, it's one of those like staple games of like the childhood. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd come home and I'd play this, or like, as nerdy as I am, I'd play like Dynasty Wars or something like that. Like or like Soul Calibur or something.
Oh like, man, Soul Calibur 2 back in the day. Oh
dude. Oh my gosh. Or that or Tekken, like. But yeah, no, it was like I'd come home and I'd play this just kind of like constantly. And it was like, the nerdy fat kid that I was, I felt like I was actually cool because it's like, yeah, skating. When in reality, I'd never actually stepped foot on a skateboard, and if I tried, I'd probably break my face.
I can make that happen. I got two. I got two in my car right now.
Two what?
Skateboards.
Wait. Oh, okay. All right. I thought you were trying to offer to break my face or something. I wasn't sure where this conversation was going.
No, skateboards. I mean, what you do with the skateboards, that's on you, buddy, but I got you.
Awesome. Excellent.
Yeah, I guess my situation with the games is kind of similar. Like, I remember when I was a kid, like maybe, I don't know, 5 or 6 years old, maybe back playing on the N64, I started with Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. And I mean, that game is just legendary. I think that game still holds one of the highest ratings on Metacritic to this day.
Really?
Yeah. But yeah, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 had like a 98 on Metacritic. But I played Pro Skater 2, and then I don't remember exactly what came first in my library, if it was Pro Skater 3 or Underground, because after Pro Skater 2, I started playing Tony Hawk games on the GameCube. If not at my buddy's house on his PlayStation. But nice. I have vivid memories of playing a lot of Underground 2. And yeah, I played it for years. Like, I would even go back to it, and it was the game. It became the game that, like, it became kind of like my comfort game, as like Family Guy is my comfort show. Like, it's as I have so many memories with it. I spent so much time with it. I would play through the game beginning to end in a day. It was just, I had the game down to a science. It was fun.
Yeah.
Granted, there's some things about it that aren't so perfect, but it was just it's a great game.
Yeah, it really is. Like, like I said, for me, right, it was kind of like living out a fantasy that I knew that I wasn't gonna really be able to do, living in the middle of flipping nowhere on a dirt road and having like no access to concrete or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like, the only way that I'd really be able to skate is if I actually went 15-20 miles into the actual town. And you know, when you're 12, 13 years old, that's not exactly going to happen easily.
Yeah.
Mom, can I go skating? No.
just be back in the next week. Yeah, I mean, even like growing up where I live, like I live in a town, but I live on a busy road that you can't really skate in, and I have a gravel driveway, and like I couldn't skate at my house, but I could. Once I got a little older, I was able to like kind of walk around the corner, and like my best friend lived there, so like I would just skate in front of his house all the time, and we would even go inside and play this game or like American Wasteland or whatever we were in the mood for, and kind of get hyped up and watch the skate videos you could unlock in there, and we would just get inspired and go out and try to, you know, pull off the stupid stunts we saw.
The secret tapes, yeah.
Oh my god. It's so good. Like this game just, it goes way back with me. And I mean, I'd like to get into some of the gripes I have with the game and get into talking about the game now.
Yeah.
I mean, I really don't have a lot of negative things to say about this game. I mean, you mentioned that this game started to kind of bring in new mechanics, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that is most apparent with the car driving sections.
Yeah.
I would say that is probably my biggest gripe with the game. Like, from the beginning, so the game starts in New Jersey. And good old New Jersey, that's where I'm from. And it's, you know, I love New Jersey, and that game really makes New Jersey look like shit. But
I mean, is it wrong now? No,
I don't blame them. I know kind of where in New Jersey they're referencing, so it's okay. I understand. It's not my part of New Jersey, but I understand. I get it. So it's right off the Parkway. I understand. But in that first level, I forget exactly what the character's name is, but there's a character. He's Jesse James, I think. I don't remember. But
which, you keep going. I might remember.
Well, there's the character who has like that green sports car that you end up having to do a mission or two with.
Oh.
Was that Jesse James? Because I know Jesse James was in Underground too. I don't think it was like Ken Block or anybody. Maybe it was.
I think it was. It might have been Jesse James. I don't think it was Ken Block, but I might have been Jesse James.
Maybe. Yeah, because I know he had a cameo for some reason. I think in the second game, but regardless, he has a souped up, Subaru, whatever. He's got like a rally car, and it kind of doesn't make any sense why you would have to use this car. I forget what the context of the mission is, but like for whatever reason, you end up having to drive this car around the super narrow, ramp-riddled streets of New Jersey to do like whatever, slalom some cones or pick up fucking groceries or what. I don't remember. That's my biggest gripe. And like that mechanic follows through with the rest of the game. In different levels, there's different vehicles you have to drive for different missions. And I think the worst one was in, I believe, Vancouver, and you have to drive a limo.
Oh, that was so stupid. That was so dumb. Like you're going on, I remember that because you're going underneath, like where there's the ice rink. So you go underneath to pick up some dude, and it's like you get stuck there because there's like no real way to get out. Like it's just stairs. So you're like, okay, what do I do now?
Yeah, like literally you have to drive this limo underground or under this bridge, onto an ice skating rink to pick up a person or whatever. And yeah, there's no way out of it because you had to go down to get there. And you have to try to somehow like get this limo out from there, and you can't turn. Everything is so tight on all the maps in this game. Like for a skateboarder, they're not that bad. But to drive a fucking car, it's stupid. I think that's kind of a stupid implementation. In future games, they would have different mechanics other than skateboarding, but ones that made sense. Like in American Wasteland, you had BMX.
Yeah,
that makes sense. That's fun, Yeah. But why am I driving? Like, okay, the golf cart around San Diego, that was cool. But like, come on, a limo in Vancouver, really? Whatever.
Seriously, come on. What are you guys doing? Activision, just get with it. Seriously.
I mean, I have the wiki up in front of me here just so I don't forget, or I don't miss any of the maps. But I don't remember a couple of these. Like there's one here. I mean, we'll get into this more later, but like I'm trying to remember. Oh no, I do remember that. Sorry, I'm just trying to like remember everything because I did not play the game, and all I did to prep for this podcast, this episode, was watch a 20-minute video that was all of these story cutscenes in a row.
My experience with this, I forget if I actually mentioned this before. But my experience to familiarize myself with the game was watching a Let's Play with the most sheltered YouTuber I've ever seen in my life. Oh my goodness. I understand, right? He didn't want to get monetized with what he was saying, or demonetized. I get it.
I don't know what the content he's creating. You think he's actually getting monetized? I don't know. I don't want to say that. But
I mean, that's just it. He had like a good amount of followers, so I don't know.
Oh my gosh, the luau girls are wearing bikini tops. How is this in a video game? Oh man, dude, wait till you see Leisure Suit Larry.
What he said. That's almost verbatim what he said.
Are you serious?
I am not even kidding.
Oh my gosh. Well, let's hope he doesn't listen to this show.
Oh god. I forget who. There was one. There was one pro that said bitch or something like that. I think it was Bam. I think Bam said bitch. Probably. And he's like, whoa, buddy. Calm down with the language.
Oh my gosh. I really hope he's playing a character and that's not actually like the person. I don't know. That's just.
Yeah. I don't. If he's playing you know what? I don't want to trash on people. I really don't. I mean, it takes all kinds.
It does. And you know what? But it's like, personally, like I live in Sopranos country. I hear worse than that when I'm 5. Whatever. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
It's good. It's fine.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Like Mike Vallely, I'm from New Jersey, and it's all good.
Is that how you pronounce his last name?
That's how I pronounce it.
I had no idea.
Vallely, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know him to ask him.
I don't know if he'll ever be a listener of this show. So if he is, great. He can send me a message and correct me. But
Hi, Mike.
absolutely love his skating. Nothing but respect. Absolute idol, icon. Scariest guy in skateboarding. He is the boogeyman of skateboarding. He is what Suge Knight was to the rap industry. He is to skateboarding, and I love him to death.
Walking encyclopedia.
He's great. Next time we hang out, I'm going to pull up some highlight clips of Mike V and show you, and you'll understand what I mean.
Got it.
There was real quick. There was a video, an iconic video of Mike V back in the day. I think it was on CKY or one of the CKY movies, and either that or it was on one of Tony. I think it was on one of Tony Hawk's tours actually, and there was a video that arose from it where I think it was recorded on security cam footage from the 7-Eleven. He's walking out from the 7-Eleven and some like young adults or whatever are like heckling him from this pickup truck. And literally on footage, on camera, he kicked all their asses. 4-on-1, not a chance.
Oh, that's great.
Fantastic. But
don't fuck with Mike V.
No, he's but he's also like the nicest guy.
Is he?
From my understanding, yeah. Like he's super just chill.
That's like MMA fighters. Like there's this one amateur dude I know who, like, if you met him outside the ring, he's the nicest guy. Like he'd give you the shirt off his back, man. But once he steps in that ring, dude, his entire demeanor changes, and he is an absolute killer. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I don't want to get too off track.
Yeah, sorry. Right.
No, you're good.
So grapes about the game.
Grapes about the game. I mean, it's hard for me to come up with any aside from that because I haven't played the game in so long. I mean, I'm sure that if I were to play the game right now, even for 20 minutes, I could probably think of something. Like
right.
Now, some of the controls are a little bit weird. Sure. Like the gripes I have for the game, one of the other major gripes I have for the game, I'm going to bring up later because it actually has something to do with the very last mission in the game. So I'll talk about that later.
Right.
But like that's pretty much all I have for gripes with the game is that driving mechanic, only because it felt very forced. I feel like they could have made a great game regardless without it. It did add a little bit of like, I don't know. It added a little bit more to the game, sure, but it didn't feel like it belonged.
Yeah. It's like it's like it was forced. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, do you have any gripes about the game?
Yeah. So I agree with you on the driving. I think that was kind of superfluous.
Ooh, a word.
Right? $20 word. Look at me. I'm so fancy. No, but I think one of my biggest gripes was the dialogue. I feel like it's not good for a Christian Minecraft server. It's just,
oh my gosh.
Honestly though, I think the dialogue is kind of forced. I think that they tried a little too hard to be, I don't want to say edgy, but like into the culture.
That teen angst and like
yeah, and like I understand where they were trying to come from, but it's like they could have done a better job with it. You know what I mean? It's almost like you've got a 40-year-old freaking producer suit that's like trying to actually like connect with kids. Like, yeah, kids are really into ice cream. Let's add ice cream. Like, that's not gonna work, man.
So, I mean, I'll go off of what you're saying about the voice acting, and in agreement with you. So the thing, like, I agree, but I also have a side of it where I'm like, I understand why it is the way it is. So it was also at the beginning it was in the early 2000s when voice acting was still kind of new in the world of video games, all things considered. And you also got to consider, like, they're taking the actual pro skaters and making them do voice work.
Oh, good point.
Like all of these guys that like they had Rodney Mullen doing his own voice. They had Chad Muska doing his own voice. Stacy Peralta, Tony Hawk, Mike V, like all these guys, Bam Margera, Bam Margera and
Bam
Tony Hawk
talking
were
about
probably
tanks.
That was funny.
That was really good. That's perfect Bam too, right? Like,
Oh yeah, that's spot on for the day. And like that's back at like the height of like CKY and MTV Bam, like Viva La Bam, I think was just starting, and oh, it was great. But yeah, so like you had all these guys that were like the actual, you know, professional skateboarder personality, whatever, doing their own voice work, and I thought all of them did a pretty great job. Where I agree with you in the cheesy voice acting is all the characters that didn't have an established voice already, like the guy who's doing all the sign up sheets at the Tampa Pro-Am, and I will get Eric Sparrow.
oh god,
Great voice actor, because I wanted to punch him the entire time. The main character, the PC's character, like the player character, he actually did a pretty good job. Like that voice actor was, I thought the guy voice actor was pretty good.
All right, I'll give that to you. I mean, yeah, Eric really made me want to punch him in the mouth. I mean, I feel like he was a whiny little bitch the entire time. So
He's
like,
supposed to be, yeah. Like for what the character is, he did a great job.
yeah, you got it. All right, I'll give that to you.
And Todd, the manager.
Oh, the fat dude who's like got his stomach sticking out of the shirt. Yeah.
That guy is funny. His voice acting, you know, kind of nails on a chalkboard to me, but still, it's like for what the character, the characters in this game, like they're all caricatures of the life of the you know, what you would expect them to be, or like, okay, you got the antagonist. He is a caricature. He is an over the top douchebag. Man. Like just and his character arc throughout the entire game. I mean, I'm gonna get into more of that when we talk about what we like. But like, he is just, you want to punch him the entire time. And the voice acting, the voice acting, in my opinion, was good. The script was corny as hell.
You know what? That is what I was aiming at. Like the scripts for so many different characters was so bad. Oh yeah. God.
And I don't know if it's just looking back at, you know, what the trends and what the lingo was in the early 2000s, but yeah, it was pretty hard. Like even watching some of the cuts, like the 20-minute video of the cutscenes, I'm like, man, this is rough. Yeah. Like this dates it for sure.
I'd remember more of the dialogue if I wasn't listening to that damn YouTuber so much, and all of his commentary.
Yeah.
Sorry. Anyway, happy Fred.
But I mean, do you have anything else for gripes wise? I mean, because if not, then we can get into what we like.
No, I don't think I really do. I mean, you covered the driving aspect of it, right? We covered the dialogue and the scripts. I think that's pretty much it. I mean, I want to say I want to say graphics, but I can't, because what was it, 2002, 2003?
2003, yeah.
Yeah, like there's
2003 was pretty good.
Well, yeah. And that's exactly what I'm saying. Like I'm just spoiled by modern gaming, where you've got fucking anti-aliasing and all of these different effects that make everything look stupidly realistic, you know?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, and you know what? The graphics back then, I mean, especially for the Tony Hawk games, I would really say for this one and Underground 2, maybe even a little bit of American Wasteland, but definitely for Underground and Underground 2, all of the characters' facial models looked like that. Like, okay, you know how like when bank robbers or whatever put the pantyhose over their face?
I know exactly where you're coming from.
All looked like that.
It's so bad.
It's
just plastered the face model on top of the actual character model. That's
yeah. I feel like if they took like a super low res photo of all of the skaters' faces and then just like taped it to a bowling ball. That's kind of what it looks like.
So true.
But and like there's certain things that take you out of the immersion of the game, like the voice acting, the driving, the facial models, and then also when you come up to a character to start a mission and they T-pose and you're like, all right.
Yeah.
Like I just remember that happening so much when I played this game as a kid. It was just all the time, but
Yeah.
it was so good regardless. And all right, let's get into what we like about this game, because I honestly have a lot more to cover about what I like about the game than what I don't like about the game.
Yeah. You want to start us off?
Oh, actually, you know what? I do have one more gripe.
All right.
This is one thing, and this is a little thing because it's not mandatory, but whenever you're doing a mission in the game for, like, say you're doing a contest, right? The best way, the ultimate strategy for winning a contest was always to get yourself into a manual or a lip or whatever, and or find a loop grind and just consistently change the trick that you're doing by like button mashing the controller.
Yeah.
Methodically button mashing, but still, you have to keep your balance and then do that. But that kind of sucks because, and
You're
I mean,
cheating the game almost.
Essentially, yeah. Like it takes away from the realism of what it could be, because Underground, and I remember thinking this especially with Underground, like the Pro Skater games, it didn't bother me because those are arcadey games. With the Underground games, they're more, especially the first one, they're more story based. They're meant to be a more dramatic take in general.
Right.
So then to break the immersion and to break the sense of realism by doing massive 1,000,000-point combos with that style, like with that strategy, I don't know. That to me, it worked. It's great that they had that in there. I like that was a feature, but at the same time, it's like I would have liked to been more mandated to explore the entire skate park.
Yeah. It like kind of, and I saw that too as I was playing it. And I was thinking back to it. It's you really. For being the first in the series where it's really so much more open world and so much more story driven, like they're still trying to find their footing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's only so much with that, but at the same time, it's like that is definitely a knock on them because they're taking old mechanics, not really adapting them for this new story, this new game that they're essentially creating. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean that strategy, that ability to ride and do tricks like that has always been in the franchise, and it's remained throughout American Wasteland, and I believe even like Project 8 and Proving Ground. It's been a staple strategy for many of the missions, and I feel personally I would have enjoyed it more in all of these games really if I had been able to get more points by stringing together gaps rather than combos. So like if I were to say, jump down a specific staircase and then, go into a manual and then ride for the next 50 feet and then do a gap from quarter pipe to quarter pipe and do something over that. And like, that would give me a significant point boost. That would make more sense to me than being stationary, doing, pogos to kickflips to whatever for 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'm with you there. And like the idea of like being able to get off your board like that,
yeah,
I think that's like a double-edged sword where like I understand it for story for the story's sake. But it's one of those things that like I feel like they could have done it better. Like they did it
really
well.
So.
But I think like I don't know. In my mind, the fact that the timer, how you have the timer when you get off the board, like I think that's a great idea. But I think it's almost. I'm trying to figure out how to word it. It almost cheeses the game almost, like where I just said almost like 50 times. So like you're doing a combo, you get off your board, and then like it's the same idea as with like a manual where you're kind of like you can cheese your combo, or like you can combine all these things by getting off.
Yeah.
In my mind, like I think that's kind of it's kind of adding another mechanic to the same thing as doing a manual or doing like lip tricks.
Yeah, I mean it's for a trick called a caveman. It's specifically for a purpose. Like I've done those in real life. The only thing is I wish that this game had a mechanic where you could do more interesting cavemans. So like where in the game you can do a caveman into an acid drop or a bank drop, or like, you know, into a quarter pipe or something, and that'll continue your combo. Like say you go up a ramp, you know, quarter pipe or whatever, half pipe, and then you jump off your board and you land on the top of the ramp. Then you can walk to another start of a ramp within that timer and jump in and continue your combo that way. Yeah. That's all well and good, but I do wish that if I was just doing it on flat ground, I could add a little bit of flair to it somehow. Like in real life, like personally, one thing that I enjoyed doing was I would ride and I would, like, you know, just doing flat ground, you know, messing around, and I would jump off my skateboard, catch it in my hand, and then I would do like, you know, essentially like a varial kickflip or something with my finger. I would do a finger flip and then land back on my board and continue on my way. And like that would have been a cool thing to implement in a skateboarding game.
Yeah. And it's not like there's a lack of controls to where you could do that. I mean, God knows the amount of tricks that they added just, you know, using the different combinations of like your D-pad as well as the square, triangle, circle. I don't, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. They definitely could have done that.
And I mean, let's, you know, one final note from me real quick is like, every Tony Hawk game that came out in this time added something that became an essential key element, control or trick or mechanic of some sort. Mm-hmm. Like the first game was, if you really look back at the first Tony Hawk's Pro Skater game, it was so bare bones basic, especially in comparison to the later games, because I don't even think you can manual in the first game.
No, there's actually an entire there's an entire mission where it goes backwards, where it's like, oh, you can only do this certain amount of tricks. Okay, you can only do this certain amount of, and it goes back like Tony Hawk's 3, 2, and 1. And yeah, no, 1 you can't do manuals. I can't remember exactly how everything goes, but yeah.
Yeah, because I think the first game introduced just the game, and then the second game introduced manuals, and then the third game introduced reverts, and then the fourth game introduced something, and then this was the first one where you could finally get off your board. And it changed everything. It changed the entire way that you traversed and explored the map.
And I'm not knocking that. I think that's an amazing. You want to start segueing into things that we like?
Yeah.
All right, and I'm not knocking that. Like I was saying, I think that's an amazing aspect of the game. I think that in and of itself, that opens the world up a hell of a lot more than almost anything else they could have done. I mean, the story-driven aspect to it, sure, but that almost is supplementary to actually getting off of your board. You know what I mean? Like they included that a hell of a lot with this with the story itself. You know?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So no, you go.
I was just going to say basically the same thing. Like there's so many missions where you have to get off of your board, and they add it in and kind of make it almost a core element to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, in just in New Jersey alone, in the very beginning of the game, like the game does a good job at teaching you the new mechanics along the way. Mm-hmm. So there's that one there's that one mission where you have to get all the parts of, was it Eric's skateboard?
Yeah. Because the drug dealers stole it.
Yeah, the drug dealers really repping New Jersey here. The drug dealers threw all his skateboard components like all over the roofs of all the houses in New Jersey. So you had to get off your board and, walk along the rooftops and jump and kind of, parkour and stuff like that, basically. And it was really great the way that they kind of introduced these mechanics to you and got you to really start using them. Mm-hmm. And I mean, that being said, to get into things that we like about the game, I had a whole laundry list and it just ran out of my head. But
Oh no.
it'll all come back to me. I mean, I'll start with this. How about this? The music.
Oh.
Every Tony Hawk
Stop.
game is famous for the soundtracks.
Yes.
And I mean, I just wanted to I don't care if we don't talk about this very long. I know that we could talk about this all day long.
Mm-hmm.
But the music in these games is just incredible. And I know you definitely want to talk about this, so take it away.
Oh, dude, like the fact that they go, like it adds the environment. Every single game, it adds the environment. It's not just like you're listening to some RPG kind of background music. It's not Skyrim soft lullaby music. It's you're talking Alkaline Trio, you're talking Dropkick, you're talking Rise Against, like you're talking Sublime. All of these bands that like they go hard. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Like I mean, you know, granted, Alkaline Trio's a hell of a lot more emo than like any of the other ones that I mentioned. I mean, No Effects is on there. Like, let's be real. It's No Effects. They are iconic. It's
the Tony Hawk games have always done such a great job getting licensed music to be the soundtrack for their game. And I mean, oftentimes throughout the year, I'll find myself going on Spotify and searching for Tony Hawk's soundtracks, you know, depending on what game. Like the third game, I think, is probably the one I play the most, if not the second game.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's You're Not the Same by Body Jar. I mean, that game, that song is iconic to me. And that's from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. And like, you know, Rage Against the Machine is synonymous to me with Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2.
Yeah.
It's just, and Underground is no exception. Underground, I mean, just absolutely iconic franchise and iconic soundtracks.
Yeah, man. And it's not even just one style either. It's not just punk, right? They add in like, you know, it's rock, it's rap, it's hip hop. Like they add in all of these styles of what their fan base, what people who would play the game would actually listen to. You know what I mean?
And I remember, like, I'm pretty sure I've heard Tony Hawk talk about an interview or on his podcast. He would put in the music that he likes. Like he's not just putting in for fan service. Like he's like, I want some of this shit in the game because I listen to it, you know, as well.
That right there, what you just said, is what makes this game great. It's not like some suits that are just like, oh, what are the kids going to be into? It's actually the dude himself who enjoys what he does, who's passionate about what he does, adding his flair to this because this is his game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Neversoft back in the day when they were making these games, they must have had a great time doing it.
Oh, hell yeah.
I mean, like, my God, there's so many things I want to talk about. I'm afraid we're not going to have so much time, but like I mean, we got nothing but love for the music, but to get away from the music, I got to say another thing that I absolutely love about this game, and it's staring me right in the face right now, is the levels, is the maps.
Yeah. And that's always been how it is.
Oh yeah. They're fun. They're just, you know, these maps. I mean, this game did it a little differently than, say, like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1, 2, 3, 4. Because back in those games, they were arcadey. The maps a lot of the time were meant to be a loop where you could string together tricks and whatever. And I mean, you can still do that in this game for sure. But the maps are bigger to a degree, and they're a lot more detailed. New Jersey alone, you feel like you are in a town. It's not like, it's not empty. There's a personality to it. To each map, there's a personality. And then the second map in the game, Manhattan. You kind of feel like you're there a little bit. Yeah. You know, it gives that scale. Especially for like the limitations of the hardware at the time. Oh yeah. Like entirely. Because I mean, even with Jersey, like there was, you know, there wasn't a massive selection of cars, but there were cars. There was life to the game. It wasn't just you're there with a half pipe and a couple of like rails that you can grind. Like there's an entire, I don't want to say entire, but there's
there's a town to explore. There's stuff to find. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not. I want to backtrack on that a little bit because it's not that the older games or other games didn't have that. I mean, there were plenty of secret areas. There were plenty of secret maps that you could find. But it's like,
yeah, that's the thing I want to get into.
Yeah. But this one had so much more life to it. Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, no, just go. You mentioned right there secret areas and secret maps. And that's something that I was planning to touch on going forward a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Because it does coincide perfectly with talking about the levels. Like, as with pretty much every Tony Hawk game, there are a handful of secret levels that you can find or unlock somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think I'm looking at these ones here in front of me on the wiki. So the maps that are in the regular base game, you got New Jersey, Manhattan, Tampa, San Diego, Hawaii, Vancouver, Slam City Jam, and Moscow. And I think that's it for the main game. And then when you beat the game, then you unlock a level called Hotter Than Hell, which was so weird. Like, even at the time, but really thinking about it now, like, that. Do you know what that is? That map?
I don't.
It's a concert.
Is it really?
It's a Kiss concert. In 2003, I didn't think Kiss was that relevant.
I mean, you look at it. I'm actually looking at the music. There's what do they have?
I think God of Thunder was in it, wasn't it?
Let's see. They've got 3. Yeah, they've got God of Thunder, Lick It Up, and Rock and Roll All Night. Like, they've got 3 different songs just by Kiss. I think that's actually more than any other of the bands that they have.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. I mean, I don't. There must have been some reason why. Maybe it was a promotion for something else. I don't know. Maybe it was a sponsorship deal. I don't know. But yeah, I just thinking about it now, like, that was such an odd map because I remember that map vividly playing it as a kid because there was a big stage in the middle of the map and you could ride around the outskirts of that stage. And there was like 4 corners to the map. It was kind of like a football field shape, And in each corner of the map, there was a letter, a big light up sign letter, KISS. And if you did a trick and lit up each one, then in the middle of the stage, the band would come out of the smoke and, like, quote unquote, play their song.
Yeah.
And it was interesting. It was a neat little, Easter egg kind of thing.
I really wonder what the idea. I wonder if that was just like they were screwing around in the studio one day, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Hey, we should add Kiss into this." Like, because there's an entire, like, after you finish the game too, you can unlock Gene Simmons as one of the playable characters.
Yeah, he is one of the playable characters. Yeah, and we'll definitely get more into talking about the playable characters in a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, talking about the maps, like the secret maps specifically, I remember. So the secret maps, other than Hotter Than Hell, that you can unlock are School 2 from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, Venice from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, and Hangar from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. And where you find each of these maps is kind of in the hidden location, which I think is great. Like, the first one, I think when you unlock Hangar, it's either Hangar or Venice. I don't remember. It's one of them. It's in New Jersey. It's in the first map. It's on the other side of the river down in the train station. You have to, like, get a lot of air off this one quarter pipe, and you pick up this token that looks like it's in, like, a really hard to reach spot.
Mm-hmm.
And that unlocks one of the secret maps. Then I forget where you find the third one. I think it's in Russia. But the second one, I remember it's in Hawaii.
Yeah, there's the
tiki head, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I thought that was the coolest thing.
Yeah, man. That was so creepy. That was so creepy.
It was just like out of nowhere.
Like, you just go ahead.
Sorry. No, you go.
You're good. You hit this tiki head, and all of a sudden you're going through this, like, little ass tunnel, and there's what was it?
Like the devil's laughing at you.
Yeah, the entire time you're just going down, and it's like there's fangs that are coming out of like the roof of the thing. There's like a little volcano that's in the center, and it's like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah. You have to like do an ollie or something into the mouth of this tiki head. And then it just, you go down this little tunnel, and then it like shoots you out into this, like you're going into a volcano, and then in there's a token for a secret level, and you're like, and then it just throws you back out into the middle of the map, and you're like, what the hell just happened? It's so great.
I love it.
Oh, so good. And yeah, I mean, just God, I know I'm hogging the microphone from you right now, and I'm sorry.
This is your game.
this game was just an obsession for me when I was a kid.
Yeah, and that's up. Like we had Nick on for Legend of Zelda. I mean, you heard me go crazy about Koji Kondo. By all means, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Yeah, I guess like I don't know. I can talk super passionately about this game, and just skateboarding in general is just. It's always been a huge thing for me. In fact, like, I don't know. There was a couple of videos, this is an off track comment. There's a couple of videos that I actually had on DVD when I was a kid. And I feel like nobody's ever heard of them, but they were the Tony Hawk's Secret Skate Park tour.
Nah.
And I was obsessed with watching those videos because they were movies and they were like hour-and-a-half long movies of Tony Hawk and just pretty much everybody you see in Tony Hawk's Underground going on this tour across the country unannounced and just showing up at skate parks. And like it was so good. Like they would just show up at like local skate parks all over the country just out of nowhere. And the people that were there would like freak the fuck out. And they would just hang out and like skate with the locals. And then just like, they would show up and there'd be like 10 people there maybe. By the time they left, there's like 1,000. But
yeah.
It's like the soundtrack of that was fantastic. I still listen to that all the time. Like, I don't know. Yeah, this whole genre, I'm all over it.
That's cool. And now, was this in a game, or was this in one of the games, or is this like on its own?
Oh, the Secret Skate Park tour?
Yeah.
Oh, that's on its own. That's like a movie that he produced back in the early 2000s, like around this time. And there was a couple of them, but they were great. They were just so good. I find them on YouTube. I usually watch them like once every couple of years. Still, they're fun to go back to. Yeah,
man. And that's like, you remember we were talking before we started the podcast about the YouTuber and like. All right, So at one point, the YouTuber goes, "Wait, I forget exactly what he says, but something along the lines of, wait, skating doesn't make you a lot of money?" And like, I'm just sitting here like mouth open, like, that's really? You didn't,
bro? Skaters are notoriously broke.
Yeah. Like what? Why do you think all of the shows are sponsored by Vans and like all of these massive clothing brands? Like, no, of course they're not going to get money from skating. I mean, it's the same thing with like bands. You're going to go out and do a show. You're barely going to get any kind of money. Like it's all going to come from like signing deals with somebody else. You know what I mean? And that's where like Tony Hawk's. Like he's an entrepreneur, you know what I'm saying? Like he went out and he became a skater, but at the same time, that was just where he got his footing to do like everything else, to do the games, to do these videos, to start his own clothing brand, like it's.
And I mean, you watch any interview with him ever, and like he is in this for the skateboarding. He is just so genuinely passionate about skateboarding. He like everything he does, everything he's wanted to do in life. Once he found his passion for skateboarding, it's been for the benefit of skateboarding.
Yeah,
and I got a lot of respect for that.
Yeah, same. Like it's too easy to sell out. No matter who it is, it's too easy to sell out because you start seeing dollar signs and you go, ooh, well, I mean, if they're going to pay me this much, maybe my values aren't that strong, Yeah.
And that's another thing I respect about Tony Hawk. And like he said this in interviews is like people gave him a lot of crap because back in the 90s, 2000s, whatever, he was sponsored by McDonald's. And he straight up says, like, I don't accept any sponsorships for products I don't endorse. He's like, the reason I was sponsored by McDonald's is because I eat McDonald's. He's like, I'm not going to not eat their product and then still take their money kind of thing. I don't know. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, no, that's genuine is what it is.
Yeah. And, a lot of people in skating, it's you need a paycheck because skateboarding, let's be honest, it's not a cheap hobby. It's you're paying for a decent skateboard setup. It's at least about $150 at least. And that's just for something that you can really ride. And not to mention, you're buying this thing that you're going to destroy purposefully. Like you're gonna break it. It's
you're popping.
What's up?
You're popping plywood onto metal and plastic and expecting that to hold up. Like, I know it's not actually just plywood. I know it's made better than just that, but like
7-layer Canadian maple.
There it is. Like it's gonna break. It's wood. You're using it constantly. It has flex. There's only so much flex that you can. I'm getting nerdy. I'm getting very nerdy.
I've broken a couple of skateboards here and there, but I mean, they just you're buying them to break them. Not only are you buying, skateboards constantly, you're buying shoes constantly, you're buying pants constantly, you're buying hospital bills constantly.
I was going to say if you weren't.
It's my last major injury from skateboarding was a broken wrist. I got a screw in my hand now.
Ooh.
But that's all right. Worth it.
But it's their trophies. You know what I'm saying? Like it's trophies of you actually going out and doing the sport. It's the same thing with guitars. Like I have a Taylor 712 CE guitar, right? I love that guitar to death. It's super sentimental to me. I love it. It's very well worn. The lacquer is coming off on it in certain places. There's some cracks down the side of it. Like it's well worn because I use it all the time. When I go out and I do some kind of like, I don't want to say performance because that makes me sound like I'm an actual like traveling musician or something like that. But like when I go out and I take it and I play like a quote unquote gig, like I'm using it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's the same thing with skating, right? If there's no signs of wear, then you're not using it. You know what I mean? Like if it's not broken, you're not using it.
Yeah. We keep getting off track here. I totally agree with you though.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good, dude. I don't want to be rude and cut you off or anything like that. I love the tangents, but
we have a podcast to keep.
We definitely we have a tendency of getting a little bit off track, especially when it's about 11 o'clock at night and I just got done working 12 hours.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to move on then, like to talk about another thing that we like, and one thing I've always liked about the Tony Hawk games is, okay, you got the maps, that's great. The levels, the unlockables, that's fantastic. Now, the characters as well. The characters in all the Tony Hawk games have been great. They've from the beginning, you can play as all the professional skateboarders that are mentioned or used throughout the game. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. As characters. Burped. Weird. But, so, I mean, you can play as anybody like Tony Hawk, Mike V, Bam, Kareem Campbell, whoever. And at the end of the game, with certain criteria met, you can unlock either with cheat codes or by meeting the certain criteria, you can unlock novelty characters. And I've always found that to be a great incentive to try to play the game on all difficulties.
Yeah. And like we were talking about, right? Gene Simmons is one of the ones you can get. I think Spider-Man's one of the other ones just from beating the game.
That's not from Pro Skater 2. I just want to throw that out there before we get yelled at by anybody. But yes, you're right.
But like like there's all these. It's the mark of a good developer. It's not about loot boxes. It's not about pay to win. It's not anything like that. It's them adding in Easter eggs, just like all of the other games that we've played. it's they're in it for the love of gaming, just like Tony Hawk's in it for the love of skating.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and it's just fun what they do, and it's kind of sad that games don't really do this anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, the recent Pro Skater 1 and 2 remake did introduce unlockable characters and novelty characters again, like like Officer Dick, but he was played by Jack Black and stuff like that. So it was there, but it was a little different. So like, all right, everybody, sorry we had some technical difficulties there with the mics between me and Fred here. But yeah, to get back into talking about the novelty characters, like in Tony Hawk's Underground 1, Paul Rodriguez, who was at this point just kind of starting to make his professional career debut as a professional skateboarder. Then you have Arto Sari, who I know, but I don't remember from where. Then you got Gene Simmons, like you said. And there is Iron Man, actually, in this game. Are you there?
Is it Iron Man? I thought it was Spider-Man.
No, Spider-Man was Pro Skater 2.
Oh, that was okay. My bad. Yeah.
But Spider-Man's Pro Skater 2. I think Wolverine was Pro Skater 3.
I wonder if Tony Hawk's a Marvel fan.
Either he is or the developers are.
Right.
But actually, also another thing I think reason for that is I believe these games were made by Activision. And back then, Activision were the rights holders.
Okay.
To the Marvel games, I think. I might be mistaken. Message me if I'm wrong, everybody. But yeah, and then you had a character. The last secret character that you can get in this game is Thud, Thud. I don't know exactly what that is, but do you remember in the opening credits to the game when like the sewer manhole cover is like opening up and then that like alien creature pops out? That sewer monster, that's the Thud character. You can play as him.
Oh, what was the game where you could play as the Neversoft Eye?
That was, I think that was Pro Skater 3.
I remember unlocking that, and it was like I was super grossed out by it, but I couldn't stop playing as him.
Yeah. I think if I'm not mistaken, I don't remember the playable characters that are in Pro Skater 4. But Pro Skater 3, for my money, had the best unlockables.
Yeah.
Because you had, I think Darth Maul was in Pro Skater 3. You had Wolverine.
Yeah. And
you just had a bunch of different... It had like 10 people you could unlock in that game.
3 was a great game then. Because I remember every one that you're talking about like that. It was a really good one. That might have been the one that I played the most.
3 had the levels of Suburbia and Canada, the Foundry, the cruise ship.
Yep. Then it was 3 that I remember that because I remember always like I just got bored and I'd keep like falling into the Foundry just because I thought it was funny.
That was great.
I mean, coupling that with my hatred of lances and love of acid guns, I might have a problem.
I think you should seek some help.
I might need to.
Maybe one day this podcast will be sponsored by a certain therapy app that we can take advantage of that I'm not going to mention now because...
Don't do it.
Reasons. But, with that being said, I am actually a huge advocate for therapy. If anybody needs to seek help, please go ahead and do it. I support you.
Don't struggle alone.
No. There are always people you can talk to. So... with that being said, yeah, I think that kind of covers pretty much what I wanted to cover for the likes. There's one more thing that I like, and it's also going to coincide with that last thing that I don't like, but it's also going to come with a spoiler cast. So, yeah, I'm if you don't have anything else you want to cover, I'll get into that. I
mean, this is really just for the entire Tony Hawk series. I love the moves. You know what I mean? Just I've always loved how you can. I mean, yeah, sure, it's a gripe too, but like how you can combine it, add or make combos just by doing like different buttons and like finding new specials and finding oh wow, I can do this, and like the thrill of finding a new trick that you can do. I'll agree with you. The controls of this game they're tight. They're real tight. And it's almost like playing a fighting game, but with your skateboard.
It's because there's specific move combinations that you have to pull off and learn and figure out, and yeah.
Oh, homie, you hit the nail on the head with that. That is, oh my gosh, I didn't make that connection till now. That is me with Tekken.
Yeah, and it's funny because like I hate fighting games. I mean, I don't hate them, but I'm not good at them.
Take that back right now.
I'm not good at them.
I will fight you with my Hwoarang. Right, I will kick
with your what?
With Hwoarang. Anybody who knows Tekken and knows the proper pronunciation for Hwoarang's name.
Okay, because I don't know Tekken, and I'm about to have some serious questions for you.
Long story short, he's one of the characters from Tekken.
Gotcha. Alrighty. Well, I'm gonna not struggle alone. I'm gonna talk about that in therapy. So
there you go.
But yeah, no, I agree with you. The controls are tight, and I love the classic, like, it's the I can't really specifically say what button does what because it's different on every console, but the, square flip trick, triangle grind, circle grab trick.
Yeah, X you know what you're getting with each one.
Yeah, like it's just, and then you flick the joystick in a different direction to pull off different maneuvers of each combination.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then you could move the joystick in two directions during the same button press or whatever, and it helps out. But you pull off different tricks and stuff. Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. And the special meter, having, oh my God, I'm all over the place right now because there's just so many mechanics to this game that I would love to talk about.
Yeah.
I just don't want to be sitting here talking for 3 hours.
Yeah, exactly. This was supposed to be a short podcast,
experience
Rob.
the game. Yeah. It is. It is supposed to be a short podcast. And I want people to take what we say and the passion that we have for it and go and find a way to play this game.
Exactly. So, all right, let's say less. These are our likes. Find your own. Play the game, please, because you're going to find so much more that you like.
Yeah, and message us with your likes. But reach out to us on social media and tell us what you liked about the game, what you didn't like about the game, and I'll shout you out in the next episode or something because I would love to hear from you, especially about a game like this.
I like that idea. Yeah, by all means, send it in.
Yeah, I'll read your comments on the show. Yeah, hell yeah, why not?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, with that being said, do you want to get into the spoiler cast and a little bit of the story?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
All right. So, I mean, this game is very story driven, and the story is essentially like, and this kind of goes with one thing I like as well, but this story is a really great rags to riches story.
Yeah.
It, as cheesy as the script may be, I think that the story behind it is really solid. Because you just start out as some poor kid from New Jersey who has like barely even a skateboard to his name.
Yeah. What kind of resembles a skateboard?
Yeah. And like, you have this friend, Eric Sparrow, who's such a top tier piece of shit.
Man, I felt the air quotes in that when you said friend. Oof. Oof.
Eric Sparrow is just a backstabbing little something. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Sorry.
You're good.
I'm trying to cut it back.
No. You cut me back there. You're good. But no, Eric Sparrow is such a little shit. And from the beginning, you kind of like don't know how to feel about him. Like he's your friend when you start. But then that quickly changes because there's only, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know how to count tonight. I'm so tired. There's like 8 or 9 maps, whatever, that you go through. There's like a half a dozen or so maps that you go throughout the game, and each map is another major turning point in the story. So like, you start out in New Jersey. You're just some, poor kid from New Jersey trying to just pursue your passion for skateboarding with your friend Eric. And then you come across Stacy Peralta, long story short, kind of like you end up coming into contact with Stacy Peralta, who owns a skate shop, and you want to try to get sponsored by him. And he says, get me some footage, but don't do it around here because I've seen everything that there is around here. So Eric pulls a stunt, surprise, surprise, and you guys have to run from New Jersey, and you end up in Manhattan, which...
Oh, I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, so you end up over in New York, and that's how you get to the next map. So then you get there, and then you start to film some footage, and you're like, oh, this will be great. And then you start talking to Stacey Peralta, and he's like, yeah, I'll sponsor you guys. So then you end up going to Tampa for the Tampa Am, and this is where Eric Sparrow starts to become a shithead. So he doesn't sign you up for the contest. Yeah. He doesn't sign you up for the contest because he's such a terrible friend. And
no, it's actually, to cut you off, it's actually before that, because there's... Is it the Am? No, because you get it. You both get into the Am. No, I know where you're thinking of. So what you get into the Am? Fine. It's in Hawaii that the real problem starts, because that's when he films you doing the massive jump over the helicopter.
No, he doesn't put your name in for the Tampa Am. So you have to find a way to get yourself in. So what you do end up doing is going and skating with Tony Hawk on the half pipe, and you impress him enough so he puts a good word in for you. So you get into the Tampa Am. You win the Tampa Am, then you end up getting on the team. The team flies you all out to Hawaii. Then you have to record a cool trick over the helicopter in Hawaii.
Oh. That's right. My bad. Sorry, guys.
It's all good. It's all good. I mean, this is just the story, like super, super quick version. So then, yeah, you film a banger trick out in Hawaii. That footage becomes legendary. Eric is the one that records it, but he also decides to steal it. Mm-hmm. So after that trick is all filmed, then you guys are going to Vancouver in Canada to have your big reveal for the video part. And that's where you see that he stole your video clip. So then, long story short, next thing you know, you guys are going to this place called Slam City Jam to have this big, pro competition, and you decide to go ahead and enter yourself as a pro. And you win the competition, long story short, and then you end up over in Moscow. More shit happens, blah, blah, blah. You end up back in New Jersey, and now this is where everything kind of comes to boiling to a head, where you're about to just kind of... You have an argument with Eric. He comes back into the picture one last time, and then he says, hey, I got your footage, and he's like waving the real, clip in front of you jumping the helicopter.
Yeah.
And this is where the end of the game is. And this is where easily the hardest mission and my final gripe is in the mission, or in this game. So when you play this mission for the first time, you have to follow Eric Sparrow around New Jersey because you're back where you started. So this game went from rags to riches to rags to happy. You found happiness. Yeah. And you finally found zen and peace and fulfillment within yourself. And Eric finally shows up one last time to try to ruin that for you because he just can't let you be happy.
Right.
So the final mission is that you have to follow him around New Jersey, collecting these little green fist combo icons or whatever. And you're on a timer. And you're jumping from power line to power line. And now I'm just going off of memory as a kid. I had such a hard time with this mission. And I played it on, I don't know, I might have played it on easy or normal back then. Mm-hmm. And it took me no less than like 30 tries.
Yeah. But
I remember beating it and just being so fucking happy and just relieved.
I'm with you.
Then the next time I played through the game, I think I played it on a higher difficulty. I think I played it on easy for the first playthrough, and then I went to normal. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the normal playthrough, I was dreading having to do that mission again because I'm like, now we're on normal. Now there's going to be more things for me to pick up. It's going to be longer. It's going to be harder. Nah. Do you know what happens? Mm. I don't know if this happens because you've played through it a second time, or if because you've done it on a higher difficulty, it doesn't make you do that whole mission. You get to skip that whole mission.
Do you really?
You get to skip that entire mission. And what happens is, and I'm just going to spoil it. I'm not even going to throw in a spoiler cast. This game's 20 years old. Go play it. But yeah, I don't know what the stipulation is that lets you have this ending, but because you saw the ending, right?
Yeah. If I remember right, it's you know what? Go through the ending. Go through the ending.
Okay. Well, so the ending is, you if you do it the mission, then you have to chase him around the whole city and collecting these things, and then you finally, catch the right amount. You finish the, you beat the level, beat the mission, whatever, and then he throws a fit and he's like, "I'm still better than you," and I'm blah blah blah, and you walk away holding your tape, like you win. You're the bigger man, and nothing can beat you now. But if you do it again, and he says, "I still got your tape," and he's waving it in front of your face, your character literally just punches him straight in the jaw, and you just take the tape from him, and you're done.
I remember that. Oh, I remember that.
you just knock his lights out, and you just take the shit and walk away.
Oh, talk about satisfying, right?
That was the best. So like, I remember being a kid sitting there, and I'm like, I don't want to do this mission. Like it was so challenging on easy mode, and then he just does that, and I'm like, oh, okay, like sure.
I love it. A little fuck you at the end.
Oh, it was so satisfying. It was so satisfying. Now, I thought it said somewhere in the trivia here on the wiki that like why you wouldn't have to do it again, but I don't know. I don't see it. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Oh wait. Yeah, okay. On a second run through of the game, there is an alternate ending. Instead of you following Eric's line again, a cutscene shows him flashing the tape at you, but in a final frustrated move, the player elbows Eric in the jaw, grabs the tape, and walks away as Eric faints onto his car.
I love it. Oh,
it's just so good.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Oh my God. Hang on a second. I want to see if you have anything you want to throw in as a final like, dislike, thought, concern, disclaimer, whatever. Go for it. I'm going to try to count something real quick to come up with a number.
Yeah. Do you remember
the 21st night of September?
Sorry, I'm apparently dying. Don't vape, kids. It's bad for your health.
That it is.
So, at the end when they're rolling the credits, this is kind of what I wasn't sure if this is where you were going with it, so I kind of wanted to hear what you were saying. That's why I stopped. So at the end, they actually show the tape, and it's like it's you going over the helicopter, and it's the coolest thing ever, and it's like this perfect jump and everything, and and then it cuts out, and then it goes to the team manager Todd, and it's I guess Eric holding the camera.
Oh yeah, he's being a creep.
He's being a creep, and like he's trying to think of all these amazing like one-liners to get the girls interested in him, and he comes up with the creepiest freaking line. I'm not gonna say it because one, that's really freaking bad, and two,
20 years ago things were different.
Yeah, it's not even 20 years ago, dude. You say that back then, like you're just a creep in general.
Well,
like
he got smacked.
Oh, that's what the sound was? That's right. You're right.
Yeah, they smacked him.
But, and I just, for the sake of this being on the internet and for the sake of respecting people and respecting women, I'm not going to say that. What I am going to say is play the damn game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you haven't played this game and if you're a fan of the Tony Hawk series, what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I understand if it's really difficult to find a hard copy of it or if it's expensive, whatever. I don't support emulation, but I believe that if you can't get it from the rights holder, then have at it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, this game is so much fun. It doesn't hold up visually.
No,
But
it really doesn't. I mean, literal stickers on top of bowling balls does not hold up after 20 years.
yeah, look up the character models for this game and tell me that it doesn't look like a person with pantyhose over their face.
Yeah,
Like just all mashed together.
I would love to show you the YouTuber that I was that I was using. Like, I'd love to say the YouTuber that I was watching this.
Don't say it on here, but send it to me. I want to see it.
I'm gonna send it to you directly. I've trashed him enough, and I do not. Everybody's trying to make their own. I respect the man for trying to do his own thing, and he's got something like 100,000 followers or subscribers rather. So it's like he's obviously doing something right.
Yeah. Wow.
But god dang, man, what are you doing?
All right. Well, I mean, I think I've said all I want to say. I mean, definitely play the game if you haven't, and let us know what you think of it. You know, send me a message, and you know, I'll throw in at the end where you can find us again, and we'd love to hear from you. Any feedback, any comments on the game, any love, hate, whatever. Just we'd love to hear from you. It'd be great.
This whole thing,
we'll
right?
read your comment next week on the show, or next episode.
Definitely. And I really like that idea, Rob. I really I would love to get that into this, and just, I mean, we've been talking about it from the beginning, getting everybody together, making it not just us talking back and forth to ourselves, listening to ourselves talk, but like adding in the community. So by all means, guys, join us.
Oh, yeah.
Add your thoughts. Call me an asshole if you want. I don't care.
I'll do that.
Thank you.
I wouldn't even be opposed to like the idea of maybe one day having a guest come on the show, you know, just like for like 15 minutes or something like that to give their love on the game.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Oh, that'd be so cool if we could add them into the Discord. Oh my god. We're going to have a conversation about this afterwards because I love that idea. Oh my gosh, I love that idea.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk more about that. But with that being said, I mean, let's slap a rating on this one, and let's do it.
I am down for that.
This is over an hour.
Oh no, this is supposed to be like a 30-minute podcast, Rob.
This is like an hour and 20 minutes.
Why can't we do one that's less than 45?
God. All right. Let's slap a rating on this and get out of here.
Yeah.
You go first. So, what would you rate Tony Hawk's Underground on a scale from? We have 12 playable levels.
Oh, is that what we're doing? Okay.
In total. That's what I came up with.
Okay.
There's 12 playable levels. There's 9 story levels, and that includes Hotter Than Hell. And then the 3 secret unlockable levels. So a total of 12.
Out of
work for you?
12. That works fine for me. Out of 12 unlockable levels, I'm going to give this game a 10.5. And the reason that I'm knocking it is because of the driving mechanic, because the graphics don't hold up all that well. Just the dislikes that we have about it, in general, I think that kind of knocks some of it off. But at the same time, there is so much more to it. And it's just the franchise itself. It's never been them coasting on the name. It's always been them adding something new or creating a fun game to play because of everything we said about Tony Hawk, about Neversoft, about Neversoft.
I mean, I think only in the last half a dozen games did they actually coast on the name, like Tony Hawk Ride, and that was just too ambitious for the time. And then Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5, which we don't talk about.
we don't mention that here.
No.
But that's exactly it. Like most of the games, I'm going to say it that way. Most of the games have created something to draw you in. It's not just a FIFA. It's not just an NFL, right? It's not just a freaking COD. It's not the same thing constantly over and over. Slap with a new label and 500 gigs worth of memory taken up for no gosh darn reason.
They were quality content.
It's quality content.
Yeah.
And that's exactly it. Like it doesn't, and the music. Oh God, it's just going to be the Legend of Zelda podcast all over again. Dear Lord, I mean, this game is one of the reasons that I got so into Alkaline Trio. This is why I am an emo crying weenie. I just I love this music. I love punk. I love emo. I love. Recently, I started getting into more hip hop, and rock. Right, just the kind of music that they have in this game speaks to me. It vibes with my soul, man. God, I feel like a weenie saying that way.
God.
But yeah, no, all of this, like, it's just there's so much about it that it's like this is my childhood. This is why I am the way I am, which says something.
Yeah. Seek help.
Don't struggle alone, everyone, or else you'll turn out like me.
Oh God. Anyway, I guess
familiar faces. I joke a lot, but I'm actually I want to say well adjusted, but that's probably not the right word. Anyway, what's your rating, Rob? Let's move on.
My rating may surprise you. Tune in next week, but
same bat time.
Yeah, right. Like midnight.
Oh God, is it really that late?
It's 11:15.
Oh, that would explain why I'm exhausted.
It's 11:15 New Jersey Depression time. So, my rating for Tony Hawk's Underground 1, honestly.
Wait. Tony Hawk's 1?
Tony Hawk's Underground 1.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, my rating for Tony Hawk's Underground 1 out of 12 playable levels, I really don't have a lot to knock it on. And even the driving mechanic, I see it as pointless. I see it as takes you out of the immersion, but there were parts of it. It was fun. And I'm honestly going to give this game an 11.5. This game is like, it gets a lot of points for nostalgia, but it also gets a lot of points for just pure quality. It was a lot of fun when I was a kid. It would be a lot of fun if I played it now. So there's really nothing that I can feel strongly enough about to take away major points from it. It doesn't get a perfect score, but I don't really know what game would just yet.
And I was just about to say that. Like, what game's actually going to get a perfect score?
We'll find out when we get there.
Yeah. But
this game, for all the games we've covered so far, this is the closest. And I think an 11.5 from me for this game is accurate.
Well, I think you're kind of overshooting there. I mean, I feel like your rose tinted glasses are on. Like, nostalgia is really getting at you, Rob. I think you need to calm down.
No, I'm sticking with it because I mean, like, I know it. The game looks like lipstick on a pig. Now it's not a pretty game. It looks like everything is kind of made with like mashed potatoes, and it doesn't look good now. It looked good then to a degree. It still didn't look great. You know, you knew you were playing a video game, but what game back in 2003 really gave you the vibe of realism? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
the script is corny, but it's fun. And the story between the player character and Eric Sparrow, I mean, that's just legendary. It was good. It was really good. I liked the way it was written.
Yeah, it's a classic. It's a classic, like you said, right? It's a classic feel-good story where it's like there's adversity, and then you overcome that in the form of elbowing your quote-unquote friend in the face and grabbing the video.
Yeah, maybe that was a poor influence for me as a kid. But anyway. But this game, I give it an 11.5. Really, the only things that take away from it, I mean, I wouldn't give it a perfect rating back then either. But the only things that I got to say in 2023 that take away from it are the graphics. The controls are tight.
They always happen.
It still plays great. You know, you run into the occasional issue of like, okay, I jumped when I didn't want to jump, but they kind of fixed that in this game with getting off the board. You can get off and readjust.
Yeah, and again, like I said, I knocked the whole getting off your board mechanic, but at the same time, like even watching that YouTuber and thinking back on it, like there's times where you're grinding, like you have to stay in a specific area. You are grinding, and you could easily go out of bounds and completely end the mission. If you get off your board, you've saved yourself. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead.
It's not perfect. I think I'm done. I've said everything I have to say.
Okay.
It's not perfect, but it's very, very good.
This is my rifle. There are many like it, but this one is mine.
This is my opinion, but this one is mine. Yeah, no, like that's it. That's all I have to say. I love this game. I recommend, if you haven't played it, check it out. Let us know what you think of it. Those are my closing notes. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So, yeah, I think we should wrap this thing up.
All right, I like it. I'm gonna give your opinion, Rob, a 2 out of 10 because you didn't mention how good shotguns are.
There are no shotguns in this game. However, there is a police officer dancing with a goat behind a strip club. Ooh. Message me on Instagram if you can find it.
But I mean, I've got nothing else to say, which is surprising for me.
Well, I guess with that being said, call it a day, and right. You can tell the good people how you feel.
Well, I'm feeling a little needy. A little emotional. It's one time at band camp.
Hey,
I'm just kidding. All right, I'm just kidding.
All right, everybody.
Yeah, no, it's been great. I mean, tune in next week. Thank you guys seriously for joining us with this. I really do appreciate everybody who listens to this. I appreciate everybody's feedback. I know Rob kind of sees that a lot more than I do, but this is a passion project for us, like we keep saying. And whatever you guys want to see, if you guys have suggestions for games that you want us to review, by all means, let us know. If you have feedback, let us know. If you want to just talk, or if you want to just hang out, right? Let us know. It's
I would love to maybe create some sort of poll system to come up with like maybe once a month we put up a poll that, once we grow enough of a community or something like that, maybe people can vote for what kind of game we want, or what game we play, whatever. We'll come up with something. I know that there's other creators that do stuff like that, and I think it's a really great idea. And I see that it works, and that would open up our boundaries to play more things that maybe we're not so comfortable with, or maybe we haven't played, or we don't, whatever. I would love to get some. Yeah, I would love to get some community feedback on this and really, see what clicks. And I mean, right now we've just been talking about games that we know and like, and we're going back and we're replaying, and some games that we knew back then but maybe didn't remember enough to talk about well enough, and it's just been a passion project, and yeah, it's we would love to, I'm sure, one day expand. We have a list of like 50 games that we plan on covering, but that list is up in the air. It can change any moment. Oh yeah. So
Rob, I just realized we didn't actually. Okay, we gave it the rating, but we never found out for certain your exact feelings on it. Rob,
what's up?
Is this game charming?
This game is extremely charming.
There you go.
This game is definitely charming.
Attaboy.
Charming in a bit of a chaotic sense, but yes.
Elbow your friend in the face and steal a tape type of way.
Oh yeah. Dance with a goat with a cop behind the strip club. Drive a limo onto an ice skating rink in Vancouver.
Yeah.
So charming.
Drift a golf cart. Yeah, that kind of way.
All right, man. Let's wrap this up.
Let's wrap this up. All right, everyone out there, if no one's told you this today, I appreciate you.
Stay hydrated.
Amen. God be thy goal.
Adios.
Bye.